There are only two things that come to mind when you see the vehicle behind me. One, you'd think it's completely stupid and you'd never be seen in it. Or two, you think it's, you know, the sickest thing in the world, and you've driven it for 72 hours and you absolutely love it. And you would buy this over anything else 100 times over. I have had this Cybertruck for 72 hours, and everything about it I have absolutely loved. Yes, I was a hater, and I was a doubter, and I was like, that is a trash can whenever I saw it, prior to ever experiencing it and ever driving it. After driving it, after experiencing it, and after actually being inside of it and having it at my house and around me for 72 hours, my entire mindset changed. You need to experience, dude, you need to experience this, and let me show you why. So yes, I can talk about the outside, but you already know what it looks like. You probably have seen it driving down the road and been like, what the fuck is that? So do I really need to go over it? Yes. This is a 2025 model Cybertruck, not a 2024, which has a few minor differences. Being more specific to the wheels. If you guys remember, when the Cyber Beast first came out, which was the 2024 model and the first ever Cybertrucks that came out, these hubcaps, these tires, they're having problems, and I think someone may have had an accident or something. But yeah, that's really the only difference. And the Tianu whatever cover. See, when you look at a Cybertruck and you see the back of it, you're like, that looks weird. But I think having it with and without the cover makes a big difference. I genuinely think so, and let me show you what it looks like with the cover and without, but also how you change it and how you put it up and down. It's weird. I think it's a given that the vehicle has to be unlocked for this, but on the side here, you have the up and down button for whatever that cover is called. It starts with a T, Tianu, I don't know how to pronounce it. So you literally press this button and the cover goes down. Now this is an option on the Cybertruck. You could get it without this cover, and it actually costs less. I believe it's only $700, but it's a soft top that controls right there. So for a cheaper option of the Cybertruck, you can get it without this, which on the downside, one flaw, these buttons will just be a plastic cover like this, and it'll be kind of ugly, but I don't know. That's just the trunk release or the tailgate release. Boom. Soft open. So here's a side view of the Cybertruck with that cover. Do you like it with the cover or do you like it without? Now it's currently and actively going back, and here is the side view without that cover. I really think it makes a difference. I really do, and personally I wouldn't pay the extra money for the cover. And let me show you another reason why. If you want to use your rear view mirror, is blocked. This little tiny mirror does absolutely nothing. And as you can see right now, we can see out of the back, but if we close the Tianu, look, you can't see out of the back. Now you might think this is a hazard, but let me show you this here. So once we put the vehicle in drive, guess what? You now have the rear view on the screen, which is kind of odd. But if you're used to driving the Tesla, you know that the speedometer is also right here. So when you're driving, you can see the speedometer and the rear view right there. And really, it's not that hard to look here. But this is kind of cool because you have a fisheye. So this is 0.5x. Then you have a 1.25 zoom and then a 1x. You can go back to the fisheye. So you can adjust how you want your rear view to look, since this is blackness and absolutely nothing. I didn't know I would love this about it, but you can change the ride height. And you know, weird, okay, right? No, because you can put it to entry, which will lower, or low, medium, high. And it'll just adjust your ride height. And right now it's moving and it feels weird. So I'm gonna start in high. So we're gonna go up right now. That's really quick. So right now we are at the top ride height. So this is as high as the Tesla will drive. It'll also be in this when you're in the off-road mode. So if you're driving in off-road mode, you'll stay at this height. Let's adjust to a medium height here. Let me just go down a little bit. This is so quick, dude. It's so fast that it's doing this. It feels weird when you're in it too and it's moving. I feel like I'm gonna be like in a low rider soon. Which, speaking of, we're now moving down to low. So this is what it is, driving in low. So when you're in those sport modes, or like the fast standard acceleration, this is how you can expect the ride height to be. And again, we're gonna end in entry, which is where you can set it to exit and enter in the Tesla. So when I'm talking about, you know, the quality, it's just like, dude, that felt, opening the freaking door felt like opening like a box. I don't even know, dude. Like, you press this button and it pops out for you, which is sick. But the flow and the movement of it, I don't know if you can even capture it on video, but it's like, it's so smooth. Why is it pulling it out so far? And with the Cybertruck being the Cybertruck, it is straight up stainless steel. This is the refrigerator. Look at that. Nice and thick. Got your hand open. Just don't shut it with your hand in there, because I guarantee you, your hand would be gone. So I own 2 Teslas right now. I have a Model 3 and I have a Y, and right now I have the Cybertruck too. And the first Tesla I ever had and I ever drove or experienced was a Model 3, which is Tesla's bottom base tier, like lowest level Tesla. And from just driving that, that's what made me decide that I'm only gonna buy Teslas from now on. It was an experience, to say the least. That same experience and like nostalgic feel I had from driving the Model 3 for the very first time ever is now translating into the freaking Cybertruck, because this brought a whole brand new standard to what I feel like Tesla is. And I've seen the new like refreshed Model Y and 3s, and they look like nothing compared to this. Because this doesn't even seem like well, I mean, it's not in the sexy series, which is the S, 3, X, and Y. It's its own thing. Almost like the Cybercab, but it brings a new quality and standard to Tesla. And it's just something that you feel, I don't know. You have to experience it yourself, because I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it's pretty common with back seats of trucks to be large, but feeling, I guess, because this back seat is large. It's large enough that the front seat, driver's seat, is already suited to myself, which I am 5'9", 5'10", and it's pulled back far enough. I have ample leg room. Headroom is completely fine. It's huge. It's huge. And the cup holder's down. With it up, I have even more arm room. This is also fairly interesting. So in the back seat, you have these control panel, which is, I guess, is new. You can control the fan speeds. You can play games. You can change the seat right here, so you can adjust it forwards or backwards. You can turn on the seat heater, which I did on accident. Let's see with this even like tilted back like that. It'd still be a tight squeeze, but there's ample room up there for that person. So here is the cup holder spot, which is sick. And every cup holder, the front and the back, they're like the grippiest freaking things, dude. My cup, when I put it in here, did not freaking move. It almost yanked this thing up. But the front one's exactly the same way. So you got these weird Cybertruck logos on random parts of the vehicle. That one is right on the driver's side door. There's another one on the passenger side door. I don't know if there's one in the back. Yeah, so we don't have one on the passenger side. But we got these two, and then we have the Cybertruck little logo on the steering wheel. So how many times have you been driving down the road and you pull the sunshade over like so, and you're like, the sun's still in my freaking face. If only it was like, oh, just a little lower, then maybe I could drive, I could take the whip, and I'd be fine. Tesla thought of this, and look, boom, you have an extender. So when you pull it back now, you have this little flap here that adds extra space, and I'll be honest, it actually is perfect. It is perfect, and they definitely added this because if you see here, once we put it back and it goes onto this magnet here, watch. Oh, where's it at? Right there. And it was just straight down. You can't see anything. Like, this is where my head is. This is eye level with me. I would be only able to see out that way and not the actual road. So that's why they had to add that extender. There's it just normal at eye level, and then with it up, obviously you can't even see anything. All right, I'm gonna do a little 360 here just to get the real general feel of why I love this so much. So you can hopefully catch a glance. So very minimalistic, as Tesla is. You have a little like storage container in the middle. The dash is super long, so that's kind of weird. You know, it looks like an average SUV, not an average Tesla, I will say that, but an average SUV. Until you look at that and it's reminding you what you're in. But it's an average feeling SUV. And this average feeling SUV is why I freaking love this vehicle, because it's a truck. It's not even an SUV. But it feels like I'm driving a Tesla quality vehicle, but like, I don't know, maybe it's a sedan, but when you're on the highway, it feels like you're driving an armored vehicle that if someone hits you, you're gonna be perfectly fine. Your family in the back seat's gonna be fine. That car, they're gonna be gone and their entire family's gonna be sad. That's what it feels like when you're driving this on the highway. When you're driving it down the road, it feels like you're just driving an SUV. When you're driving it through a small town, you feel like you're driving like a Bugatti, because everyone is staring at you and they're all like, into the grocery store last night, and as I was walking in, some guy pulled up behind me, and I was halfway through the door already, and the guy goes, hey guy. So I turned around. I don't know why I did, but I turned around and he goes, that's a sick truck. And then he sped off. It looks like a trash can. Until you're inside of it and you completely forget what it looks like on the outside when you're inside of it. But it's just wild. Besides that, you know, it's your average truck. It's your average Tesla. It has a wonderful battery life. I don't know how many times people tell you that Teslas are fast, but this one is extremely fast. If you pull up the little like screen here and you go to dynamics, this is where you control the drive of the vehicle, and as you can see, you have a ton of options. You have comfort, which is acceleration's chill, ride and handling's relaxed, and the performance height is high. So you'll feel less of the speed bumps and less of the, you know, crap on the road. You go to sport mode, acceleration is standard. It's not even in a sport mode, the acceleration is just standard. Ride height is focused. I don't even know what that even means. And your ride and handling is focused. And your preferred ride height is lower. So I guess you're feeling more of those bumps. You're going faster. Custom here. You can play with all of those settings. You can mix and match them. And that's where you can also adjust the slippery surface if you're in snow or something, which is relatively nice. And then you have off-road, which it warns you about off-road and all that. But I just think it's crazy that sport mode is just putting it in standard and then adjusting the ride height, because if you've driven any other Tesla, you know that standard is just kind of standard if you want to go fast. So I don't know why they put it in sport mode, but I guess they felt the need to, since the vehicle goes 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Hey, don't tell anyone this, but I'm about to do this with no I don't know what happened to the audio, but essentially I'm going to play this key here because I'm going to show you the G-force, and I'm doing it with one hand, so it's not going to last long because the other hand is holding the camera, one hand is holding the key, so it's kind of sketchy. Look at the key. Whew. I had to release because that, yeah. If that shows you how fast it is. Whew. Besides what I've shown you about towing, hauling, and the dynamics and the change in the height that are different than a regular Tesla. The back trunk cover, tiny new cover. Besides that, it's a normal Tesla, normal truck. I was leaving the gym yesterday and there were some kids getting all excited that there was a Cybertruck in the parking lot. Like little kids, they're all excited. And I was kind of like tagging along with them like, woo, yeah! And then I went and got inside of it and then they started freaking out more and running over towards it. And then their mom was like, no, come back, come back. So I was looking at them and the truck was facing behind them. But I was honking the horn at them and dude, this is the goofiest sounding horn. Listen to this. What? What is that? It sounds like a weird fire truck. It's crazy the weird design of this. Like how is this aerodynamic? I don't know, maybe it looks like a freaking Pinewood Derby car. Mixed with a garbage can, mixed with a refrigerator. It's so weird. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next YouTube video that will have nothing to do with a Cybertruck, likely. So, if you want to keep following along in the Tesla journey, well, probably don't follow me because I generally don't post a lot of Tesla content because I'm not a car channel, I'm just a whatever I want to post channel. So, yeah, that essentially sums up my YouTube channel. This thing is really fast. It is really fast.